Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under summer baseball contest between visiting Newton and hosting Brookline. We'll soon be getting this one underway, and as you can see, I've put up the stats for the Brookline starting pitcher, number 16, Noah Klein. This is Klein's second start of this summer season. He had that start against Belmont Watertown. Pitched 3 innings, and I believe gave up 1 earned run, which leaves him with an ERA of 2.33. Has a whip of 1.67 and 5 strikeouts. So solid outing, if not a top-notch outing. A top-notch outing is what Brookline got on the mound yesterday, as Owen Hoffman threw a 5-inning no-hitter against Arlington to give to lead Brookline to a 13-0 Mercy Rule win. And now they get ready to face off against Newton, a team that Brookline had trouble pitching against all the way back in the season opener when these two teams faced off in Newton all the way back at the start of this Lou Tompkins season. That one ended after 5 innings due to darkness, as the two teams went on for a while, lighting up the scoreboard. 19-12 was the final score in favor of Brookline in a pretty ugly defensive matchup between the two teams. We'll see how the defenses fare here, as here comes the first pitch. That one's going to miss high and away for ball 1. This one is sliced up in the air, and it's going to be out of play for strike 1. At the plate for Newton is number 1, whose name I don't quite have, but they got names on the backs of the jersey, so I might be able to catch it if he gets to first base. Hits a grounder foul up the third base line. Pretty much anyone who got to bat, who got to play in the last game against Brookline, I'll be able to identify by jersey number, as I've got names from last time. Just wasn't able to get them this time. That's going to be a high ball 2 from Klein. It's a 2-2 count to the Newton leadoff man. And hits the breaking ball off one hop. It's snagged by Keenan Sawada at second, and he's thrown out on the 4-3 ground out. So number 1, Ariane, grounds out to second. For the first out of the inning. Now batting is number 12, and that one comes high and in for ball 1. That one curves in for strike 1. Number 12, another player that I don't seem to have on the list from last game, as that one's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Chases the breaking ball low for strike 3. It bounced in the ground, but Ben Doctoroff picks it up, throws it to first for out number 2. Two down to start. That one misses just a bit outside, ball 1. And this one's hit And that's through the left gap. Sheehan couldn't chase it down, and that'll be a 2-out single for number 7, Watnick. Watnick, last time against Brookline, he went 1 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored, and he's already matched his hit total from last time with that single. Now batting is number 13, Parker. First pitch catches the low corner, strike 1. Surprising that Klein is pitching to the low end of the zone. Usually you want to go high when you've got a runner on the bases, make it easier for the catcher to potentially throw down to second. That one does not curve enough, misses inside, ball 1. And golfs that one low, slices it out of play for strike 2. Klein working that low fastball a lot here in the first. That breaking ball again hangs on him and comes way inside, ball 2. Klein trying to work that breaking ball to the inside corner of lefties, but it's been hanging on him. This one is lifted out to center, and Max Kaufman's got it for out number 3. Newton gets one hitter on the bases in the top of the first, but nothing more. And Brookline certainly hoping that Klein and whatever other pitchers they throw out today will stay in command of the strike zone the way Klein did that inning. That was a big problem for Brookline against Newton last time they faced off, as they allowed an absurd 12 walks and 2 hit-by pitches over the course of 5 innings that resulted in those 12 runs they allowed. All of them earned, 12 earned runs to their pitchers in the season opener. They're hoping for a better result this time. First pitch to Keenan Sawada is going to miss high for ball 1. That one's going to hit the zone for strike 1. Okay, we are back. I am so terribly sorry about that, folks. The music stand that I hold my laptop on all of a sudden slid down, and it slid down hard, and it caused my computer to just completely crash, so I had to completely restart my computer. But it looks like we're going here, as that one comes in high around the head for ball 3. It's a 3-1 count to the Brookline leadoff hitter, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. You can see his stats on your screen now. And if you know anyone who dropped out of watching the stream because it crashed there, just let them know that I got it all fixed. That one does catch the low corner, strike 2. Full count to Sawada to start the inning. And Sawada fouls this one off. It's going to fly out of play. Count remains full. The Newton pitcher, number 4, Thomas, putting in the work against this first batter he's facing. And swing and a miss. Third strike was dropped. And the throw sails, and Sawada's going to reach and head to second on a dropped third strike. Brookline gets a lucky break to start their half of the inning. That's got to be tough for Thomas. You put in all that work in a hard-fought battle against a strong batter like Sawada. You get him out on strikes, and then a throwing error ends up screwing you up. Devin Chin takes the pitch, and Sawada steals third on what I believe was ball one. And Chin lifts a shot out to left. Left fielder on his horse going back and could not catch it. That was in fair territory, and Devin Chin is wheeling around with speed all the way to third as Sawada comes in with the game's first run. Boy, I'm not sure what they're going to score that one as. I feel like that would be an E7, but they might score it as a triple. Now batting is the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan, as he takes strike one to start. That one's going to miss to the outside, ball one. Sheehan lines a shot through the left gap, and Chin comes in easily with Brookline's second run as Mayfield-Sheehan delivers with an RBI single. Now batting, the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. First pitch, he slices it off the cage, strike one. Brendel has been a big offensive piece for Brookline this summer. Leads the team in doubles, tied for the team lead in doubles with 3. Team leader in runs scored with 9, leader in RBI with 10. Slices that one over the backstop, strike two. And since Brendel has more than 20 at least 20 plate appearances to his name this season, I have now switched his stats to show batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. As he takes a high ball one there, 1-2 the count. You can see that so far this season, Brendel with a .313 batting average, a .500 on-base percentage, and a .500 slugging percentage. That's a low ball two. Brookline out to a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first and trying to add to it with Sheehan standing at first and nobody out. That one just high, ball three. Credit to the catcher for the framing job there. Sold it about as well as he could, but the ump didn't bite. Full count now. And that's going to be a high ball four. Brendel gets a free pass down to first. And now up comes the extra hitter, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Hoffman, another hitter who at this point qualifies for the slash line stats, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. Takes a high ball one. So far this season, Hoffman, .333 batting average, 500 on base, 400 slugging, 2 steals, 3 runs scored, and 3 RBI, as that one gets away from the catcher and both runners advance on the wild pitch. That one does catch the high corner, strike one. That's going to be a low ball 3. Another ball would load the bases, which would create a force everywhere, which could potentially help Newton, but you know they'd prefer to get the out if they can. And that's going to be a high ball 4, and Hoffman takes his free trot down to first. Bases loaded, nobody out. Up comes the first baseman, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Fantuzzi, not enough plate appearances to qualify for the slash line stats just yet. Big swing and a miss there, strike 1. Fantuzzi so far this season, 1 for 9, 1 walk, 2 hit by pitches, 1 steal, 2 runs, and 2 RBI. And with the bases juiced, you know he wants to add to his RBI mark here, as that'll be a high ball 1. And the good news for him is there are so many different ways he can add to that RBI mark. A base hit, definitely. A sac fly, maybe an RBI ground out. Big swing and a miss there, strike 2. One thing that would not add to his RBI mark, however, would be a strikeout, and he's got 2 strikes against him now. And good defensive swing there. Chased it a little low, but got a piece of it. Stays alive with a 1-2 count. Sheehan at third, Brendel at second, Hoffman at first. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Brookline up 2-0. 1-2, the count to Fantuzzi. Thomas sets for the pitch. That one low and in, ball 2. And that one skips in the dirt, briefly gets away from the catcher, but doesn't get far away enough. And now Thomas's back is also against the wall. One more ball, and that'll be a bases-loaded walk. That will bring in a run. And that one is going to skip in the dirt, and it will be a bases-loaded walk for Jackson Fantuzzi. Caden Sheehan trots home as the umpire takes a second to walk off the sting of that last pitch. Brookline takes a 3-0 lead now. Bases still loaded, still nobody out. We reset with a new batter, as coming up for Brookline is the catcher, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. First pitch is high for ball 1. Doktoroff so far this season, 5 for 15, a double, 3 walks, 4 steals, 3 runs, 3 RBI. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. And Doktoroff, like Sawada, Sheehan, and a number of other Brookline players, this is their 8th game in 8 days. So they've been on a marathon here as Doktoroff takes high ball 2. As that marathon consisted, of course, of the Summer Classic tournament. I mean, it's also possible a lot of the other Brookline players also played in tournaments over that weekend, just not ones I covered. You know, can't rule out that possibility as Doktoroff takes high ball 3. Brookline on the cusp of another potential bases-loaded walk, which would bring in run number 4. 3-1 is the count to Doktoroff. But that one hits the zone. We got another full count. We've had a few of those Thomas has been engaged in some intense battles on the mound here in the bottom of the first inning. Doctoroff fouls that one off, stays alive. And it's so huge to get those foul balls because, you know, when you're in these kind of intense battles, sometimes all you need to do is stay alive long enough for the pitcher to make a mistake. I mean, that's what happened with Fantuzzi. He got a foul ball with 2 strikes and managed to battle his way to a bases-loaded walk after falling behind 1-2 in the count. And that'll be a high ball 4, and it will be a second straight bases-loaded walk. This time Doctoroff driving in Brendel with the base on balls. Brookline up 4. Visit at the mound. Now this might potentially be the end of the day for Thomas, and it's so rough. He, you know, honestly had gotten off to a pretty solid start, but some defensive miscues prevented him from reaping the benefits of a pretty solid pitching job to start. You know, you got the dropped third strike on Sawada, the throw to first that missed, allowed Sawada to go to second on a strikeout. Then Devin Chin hit what looked like it was going to be a fly out to left, and the left fielder just missed it. And it went from a flyout into an RBI triple. And then after the RBI single by Mayfield-Sheehan, it's been 4 straight base on balls for Thomas. Brendel, Hoffman, Fantuzzi, and Doctoroff all walking back to back to back to back. As Newton having the same kind of problems that Brookline had when they last faced Newton. Now batting the right fielder, number 55, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch slices it to the backstop, strike 1. Bollinger so far this summer season 1 for 5 with 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 3 steals, and 2 runs scored. Could get his first RBI of the season as he takes that one low and in for ball 1. Looks like we had our brief dropping of a few frames a couple minutes ago, so I'm hoping that's all it is. We only had one brief one like that yesterday as well, so we should be fine. That one comes in high, ball 2. Fastball in the zone, strike 2. 2-2, the count to Bollinger. And defensive swing there sends it over the backstop as Bollinger stays alive at 2-2. And another defensive swing. Bollinger just getting a piece of these high fastballs from Thomas, staying alive. And that one in the zone, and Bollinger goes down on strikes. Thomas finally gets the first out of the inning. Bases still loaded for Brookline, though, with 1 out. Up comes the pitcher, number 16, Noah Klein. First pitch gets away, but Hoffman decides to hold at third. Probably a wise decision there. It's a short distance between home plate and the backstop here at Warren Field. That one in the dirt, well covered by Parker behind the plate for Newton. Ball 2. Noah Klein, the team leader in walks this season with 7. 4 for 12 with a steal, 4 runs, and 3 RBI. Slices that one out of play, strike 1. 2-1 the count. Bases loaded, 1 out. Brookline up 4 here in the bottom of the first inning. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. Thomas trying to regain his form after a rough start to the inning. He's trying to get his second out here. And he does. Breaking ball to the high inside corner. Rings up Klein for the second straight K for Thomas. Now batting the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman. First pitch big, swing and a miss, strike 1. Kaufman got his first hits of the season yesterday against Arlington. He went 2 for 2. Ooh, gets beaned. A bases loaded hit by pitch for Max Kaufman will bring in another run. Hoffman walks in, and Brookline is now up 5. That one looks like it stung. I mean, it's never good when you can hear a hit by pitch. I don't know how well you guys could hear it through my mic, but for those of us here in person, we could hear that one. And I mean, it's one thing when you hear it and it hits like the back or something, because that'll just sting, but it's not going to do anything lasting. But when it hits you in the arm, you know, there's going to be some cause for concern, especially if it's close to the elbow, which is what they're looking at right now. I mean, I'm no medical expert, so I'm speaking in the lamest of layman's terms right now. But either way, it looks like Kaufman is okay. Yep. And it looks like we're going to have a hitter I wasn't expecting, another extra hitter. Number 2, Ben Cody. Swings and misses at strike 1 there. Cody came in as a late pinch hitter yesterday, got an RBI single for his 3rd RBI and 2nd hit of the year. That one's going to miss outside, ball 1. Bases still loaded, 2 down. Brookline up 5. That one curves in nicely, strike 2. And Cody slaps one over to the second baseman, fielded cleanly, and thrown to first for out number 3. That was the first ball put in play in 7 batters. 7 straight batters. And there, where there were no balls put in play there. Brookline hangs 5 on the board in the bottom of the first at the end of 1. That is your score, 5-0. Got a couple notes in the live chat to start. We got Alan Rosenblatt saying, "Hi, Jesse, Ellen, and Alan Rosenblatt. Grandparents in Lenox. Go Adam and Ben. Go Brookline." Barbara Joe Metzger saying, "Go Brookline. Go Keenan and team. Hi, Jesse, and my brother Peter from Grandma and my brother Uncle Mike in Buffalo, New York." And from Peter QB24, "Always glad to be watching Brookline baseball. Let's keep hitting that ball." And there wasn't even much hitting of the ball in that inning. Out of 11 batters that came to the plate for Brookline as they batted all the way around, I believe, in that inning, out of those 11 batters, only 3 of them actually put the ball in play. As we had 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, and a hit by pitch during a rough inning for Newton. Now batting for Newton is number 9, Say. First pitch from Klein bounces in the dirt, ball 1. Say his last time against Brookline went 1 for 2 with a double, 2 walks, a steal, and a run scored. Fouls that one off for strike 1. It's a hard hit ball up the middle. It's fielded by Sheehan at short and throws it to first for out number 1. Brookline's got such a strong middle of the infield between Sawada and Sheehan. It's not often that they let much get past them. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. That one tipped for strike 1. At the plate is the pitcher, number 4, Thomas. That one curves in nicely, strike 2. And this one lifted out to right. And it's a can of corn for Hugh Bollinger out and right. That'll be out number 2. Now batting, I believe, is number 42. And he skies one out to left. And Chin calls for it and makes the catch as number 42, Chung, flies out. And Newton goes down in order pretty quickly in the top of the 2nd. And again, efficient strike throwing is everything at this level. You can see the difference that it makes, just how quick that inning went by. And meanwhile, the top of the order for Brookline, I believe, is due to come up. So that'll be Sawada, Chin, and Sheehan. Unless there are any other extra hitters that I don't know about. But that doesn't appear to be the case. Thomas back on the mound, and credit to the Newton coaches for having faith in their guy to get back in his rhythm after a rough first inning. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch, he golfs it foul for strike 1. Sawada last time caught a bit of a lucky break, struck out, but on a dropped third strike and a throwing error by the catcher, got to go to second. This time lines it out to left, out of the reach of Watnick's glove at shortstop. No lucky breaks needed this time for Sawada as he gets a simple leadoff single. Now batting the left fielder, number 3, Devin Chin. Now Chin either got a triple or a 3-base E7 his last time up. I'm going to have to go back and check Game Changer for that. First pitch, and Chin lines one, but it's right at the second baseman. Sawada understood the ball well, though, and was able to get back and prevent the worst-case scenario. So 1 out, runner still at first. Now up the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan, as I think that first one missed to the outside, ball 1. Sheehan got an RBI single his last time up, as that one's going to miss for ball 2. Thomas, a lefty pitcher, he's got an advantage on a potential pickoff throw to first, which means Sawada is liable to be a bit more cautious of potentially taking second. We know he stole third his last time on the base paths, as that one catches the low corner for strike 1, so it won't be a 4-pitch walk to Sheehan, as he now faces a 3-1 count. But it's going to be a 5-pitch walk, and Sheehan will trot down to first. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Now batting the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. And Brendel might actually have been reassigned as an extra hitter. They might have put Cody at third, I'm not sure. What I am sure of is that Sawada takes third on the steal, and Sheehan takes second. It was a wild pitch, but Sawada was going even before then. That one is going to be a high ball 2. 2-0 the count to Brendel, who drew the first of 4 consecutive walks his last time up. Takes that one inside. 3-0 now the count. A walk here would load the bases for Hoffman. And it will be a walk. 4 pitches and a free pass for Elias Brendel. And the bases are once again juiced for Brookline, but that walk could potentially help Newton, as it does create a force at every base. Now batting is an extra hitter, number 15, Owen Hoffman, as he takes a big swing and a miss there for strike 1. Last time up, he walked. That one misses just outside, ball 1. Sawada at third, Sheehan at second, Brendel at first. And Hoffman slices the high breaking ball there for strike 2. So now 1-2 the count, with 1 down and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. Hoffman trying to add to Brookline's lead as he hits a bouncer there over to short, fielded, thrown to first. Hoffman out at first, but he does bring in run number 6 for Brookline. Sawada in to score on the RBI groundout. Now coming up, the first baseman, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Fantuzzi got a bases-loaded walk his last time up. Bases not loaded this time. Runners at second and third with 2 down. As takes high ball 1 there. That one skips in the dirt, ball 2. And you can see Sheehan kind of dancing off the bag at third, just to try and get in the pitcher's head a little bit and throw off his control. Fantuzzi hits a bouncer over to short. Shortstop grabs it, throw to first, misses! Oh, but I think they called runner interference on Brendel because he collided with the shortstop while he had the ball. Might not have tagged him with the glove, but interfered with the throw. And so that's going to go... Oh, they're saying he did tag him. Okay, I mean, I would have believed either a tag or a runner interference call on a play like that, but I think what they're saying is that a tag was applied. So Brookline only able to put 1 on the board this time. But they do still have a noticeable lead here as we move to the top of the third. At the end of 2, Brookline 6, Newton 0. If he tagged him, why did he throw it? Yeah, might have been. Who knows? It's an out's an out. Yeah. No, I think he collided with his side of his body, not his glove. But again, it doesn't matter. It's an out. All right, we start the top of the third. Leading off for Newton, I believe, is the second baseman, number 27, Slocum. Big swing and a miss there for strike 1. Slocum last time against Brookline 0 for 2 with a sac fly and an RBI. This takes high ball 1 from Klein there. That one inside, ball 2. And that one misses inside, ball 3. Klein has had such strong control through this outing so far, but now a 3-ball count. And that'll be a 4-ball count for a leadoff walk. So a free 4 bases for Slocum. Now coming up, I believe, an extra hitter, number 25, Hussar. First pitch to Hussar misses outside, ball 1. Klein off to a rough start here in the top of the third, as that one comes in way high for ball 2. That one skips in the dirt, well covered by Doctoroff, but still a 3-0 count to Hussar. That one does curve in the zone for strike one. Swing and a miss there, strike two. Klein fights back from a 3-0 count to get a full count here. And Hussar fouls that one off. Stays alive with a full count. Last time against Brookline, Hussar went 0 for 1 with 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Trying to get on base here. And he will draw. That might have brushed off his shoulder. That might have been a hit by pitch, or it could have been a walk. Either way, it's a free pass to first for Hussar. Who might not be the extra hitter, might be the left fielder, actually. As we cycle around to the top of the order with the third baseman, number 1, Arion, as he takes ball 1 there. And now he lifts a shot deep out to center, over the head of Michael Doherty out in center field. That will go for extra bases. 1 run is going to come in, or yes, just barely around the tag. Good relay job by Brookline, but not good enough. A deep 1-run double by Arion brings in Slocum. Unfortunately, the runners not automatically taking off on that shot on a fly ball with no outs, so only 1 run in. But Newton with the potential to get something started here with runners at second and third and nobody out, and their first run on the board. That one's going to miss high for ball 1. At the plate now is number 12, the first baseman, who I think also has the last name Say, but I think has the first initial A. So A Say. That one skips in the dirt, gets away. Runners thought about taking off and hesitated, and that hesitation comes back to bite him as he gets caught on the rundown. A base running disaster for Newton. Brookline given a gift there. And you see, that's the difference of home field advantage. Brookline runners know that it's a small distance between home plate and the backstop, so they don't run on those kind of pitches that just barely slip away from the catcher. They know there's not that far for it to go. Runner thought about it, started to break for home, second-guessed himself, and went back. And that's what resulted in him getting caught between the bags. So Hussar out at first, or out between third and home, first out, as that one's going to miss for ball 4 and a walk for A. Say. Now batting, the shortstop, number 7, Watnick. Runners at first and second, 1 out. That one curves in strike 1. Watnick, his last time up, got a 2-out single. Runner taking off for third, and they go for a pickoff at first, and they caught another runner in between the bags. They got to pay attention to the lead runner, though. He might break for home. If he sees an opportunity, he is going to break for home. Oh, Fantuzzi dropped the ball, but he throws it down to second. They still got him in the pickle. They're still just focusing on the out, and Sheehan applies the tag. A run will come in the chaos, but that will be the second out, and that will clear the bases. So just to recap, ball 1 on the pitch. Arion steals third and steals home to get the run. Say is caught stealing second. This one lifted out to left. It's being tracked by Chin for out number 3. Newton gets a couple runs on the board in a zany inning, to say the least, especially on the base paths. You know, they say a lot that at this level, small ball is king. And a large part of being able to play that small ball game and manufacture runs is good skill on the base paths. And we saw what happened in that respect. We saw some hesitation to run on that huge double by Arion, so only one run came in. And then we, although part of that was certainly off strong arms from Michael Doherty in center field and Mayfield-Sheehan at short. But that meant only one run came in, and it meant Hussar got thrown out instead of coming in to score, as he got caught hesitating off of a wild pitch. And Doktorov, who is so good at making split-second decisions about which base runner is more likely to be caught in a given situation, reacted so well there to get Hussar between third and home. Reacted well again to get Say between first and second, although Brookline was not able to contain Arion between third and home. He did come in to score, so 2 runs still in for Newton. A solid inning, I would say. But Brookline showing some slight superior sense on the base paths to limit the damage. And now leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the third will be the catcher, number 8, Ben Doktorov. First pitch, pops it up, foul and out of play. That one's going to miss for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Doktorov, who got a bases loaded walk his last time up. That one's going to miss for ball 2. That one skips in low for ball 3. Three and one, the count. And it's going to be another walk for Doktorov as he trots down to first to start the bottom of the third. Now batting the right fielder, number 55, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch, high ball 1, a throw down to first, but Doktorov gets back. Parker trying to give Doktorov a taste of his own medicine, but nothing doing there. Doktorov goes for second. It's a high ball 2. Doktorov slides in under the tag, safe with a steal of second. Even with the high pitch that gave Parker a better chance to transfer to the throw, Doktorov got such a good jump on the ball as Bollinger swings and misses there for strike 1. And to get such a favorable jump like that against a lefty pitcher, again, you got to be able to read situations well, but that's what Doktorov specializes in. as Bollinger takes a high ball 3. I mean, remember, this is the guy that won the game against Cambridge by stealing home on the exchange between catcher and pitcher. Bollinger draws ball 4. So back-to-back free passes to start. And now coming up is the pitcher, number 16, Noah Klein. Doctoroff taking off, but Klein fouls off the bunt for strike 1. Klein trying to move the runners along, but couldn't square it up. Shows bunt again, and again slices it foul. Got under it the first pitch, gets over it the second pitch. 0-2 count, and he's not going to be bunting anymore. Because as you know, a foul bunt with 2 strikes does equal strike 3. Ooh, that one catches the low corner, and Klein does go down on strikes. Now batting, having subbed in center field in place of Max Kaufman, is number 88, Michael Doherty. Attempted pickoff by Thomas, and Doctoroff dives under the tag to get back safely. Doherty, a potentially very dangerous hitter here. So far this season, 6 for 10, a double, 2 walks, a team-leading 8 steals, 6 runs, and 5 RBI. As Doctoroff tried to take third there, but it's fouled off again, and Doctoroff will have to go back to second. And he hits a bouncer through the right gap into right field. Racing around third is Doctoroff. He'll come in to score. Bollinger down to third. Michael Doherty delivers with an RBI single. So it'll be first and third for Brookline, as up comes number 2, Ben Cody. Doherty probably going to take second, and they're going to try and get him on a pickoff throw, but they're not even really going to try and chase him down there. They were too worried about Bollinger, so just kind of skip the formalities. Not even a pitch thrown, and Doherty takes second base for his team-leading 9th steal of the summer. Cody lifts one off the glove of the second baseman. Bollinger is going to race in as Cody reaches on what might be scored as an E4. We cycle around to the top of the Brookline order with the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch does curve into the zone, strike 1. Sawada 1 for 2 so far today with 2 steals and 2 runs scored. Doherty almost got caught by Thomas, but he didn't throw, as that one bounces in the dirt for ball 1. And that's going to be a high ball, throw back to second. Doherty slides it back safe, as that'll be ball 2 to Sawada. Doherty is dancing dangerously off that second base bag, but he is getting Newton's attention. There's no question about that. And now he takes off for third unopposed, as that one came in the dirt for ball 3. Doherty with double-digit steals already for this summer season. And Sawada lifts one, caught by the shortstop, tags second, throws to first. Not in time at first as Sawada comes in under the hopping first baseman, and he comes up hopping a little himself. Doherty is in to score on the fielder's choice. They're going to check on Sawada and make sure he's okay. First baseman might have landed on Sawada's leg there as they both came in at first base around the same time. And it looks like they're going to take Sawada out. Good idea to make sure he is okay, and we certainly hope he is okay, as this is his final season as a member of this Lou Tompkins team. And his last season wearing a Brookline baseball jersey of any kind. And, you know, after all the great moments he's delivered to this Brookline baseball community, you know, I don't think what happened there is anything serious. I'm just saying, please don't let this be the end, is all I'm saying. Again, lamest of layman's terms. Cannot emphasize that enough. In the meantime, number 12, James Skeffington, will run in place of Sawada, as up comes the left fielder, number 3, Devin Chin. And fouls that one off, strike 1. That's going to be a high ball 1. Parker thought about the throw down to first, but opted against it. 1-1 the count. Chin reaches low, lifts a pop-up, and Arian's got it for out number 3. Brookline puts 3 more runs on the board, and at the end of 3, our score, Brookline 9, Newton 2. So in terms of the defensive arrangement, Brookline is going to move Ben Cody over to second. They're going to move Elias Brendel to first. And I think they're putting Fantuzzi at third. So an interesting bit of shuffling in the infield. All other positions going to stay the same. You know, again, that's a status that we're going to keep our eyes on in the games to come. And just hope that that whatever injury Sawada got there is not anything serious. Due up for Newton will be the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Parker, Say, and Thomas. Noah Klein back on the hill for his 4th inning of work. Leading off, the catcher, number 13, Parker. First pitch, lifts one, shallow center, well tracked by Sheehan for a simple pop out for out number 1. It's every pitcher's favorite type of out, a 1-pitch out. Now batting the center fielder, number 9, Say. That one curves in, strike 1. Say, his last time up, grounded out to short to lead off the 2nd inning. Curveball dips low, and he doesn't bite, ball 1. Chases the low fastball there, strike 2. It's so interesting seeing the different pitching strategies. Klein really likes attacking the same area with breaking balls and then fastballs to really throw off, you know, the kind of trajectory that the batter is seeing the ball come in. That time he goes for a high breaking ball for ball 2. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a high fastball this time to try and get the K. And this one is lifted deep out to right center, and it's caught by Bollinger for out number 2. Good contact, just hung in the air just a smidge too long. And that's the 2nd out. Now batting for Newton, the pitcher, number 4, Thomas. That one inside, ball 1. Thomas, his last time up, flew out to right. That one comes in high, ball 2. That one hits the low corner, strike 1. And that one hits the low corner again, strike 2. Looks like a couple of breaking balls back to back. 2-2 now, the count to Thomas. That one inside, ball 3. A full count now to Thomas. And that's going to miss low and away for ball 4. A 2-out walk for Thomas. Now up the right fielder, number 42, Chung. That one's inside for ball 1. Chung, his last time up, flew out to left to end the 2nd inning. As that one comes in high for ball 2. They don't want the control to slip away from Klein here as he goes for a pickoff move, and Thomas reads it well. And I'm not surprised he reads it well. I mean, Thomas is a lefty pitcher himself. He, you know, can probably recognize the signs just that he's seen in himself. Hard liner out to left. That'll be a clean single for Chung. Devin Chin, a little aggressive, tried to get the force out at second with how hard a liner that was. No chance there. Good backup job by Brendel to prevent disaster. But with 2 outs, we got back-to-back base runners on as up comes the second baseman, number 27, Slocum, and we've now got a meeting at the mound. Klein has pitched 3 2/3 so far. He's 1 out away from being eligible for the pitching win, and it looks like he's not going to get there. Looks like Brookline is going to make a call to the bullpen. Klein comes out to some applause from his teammates. He'll be replaced on the mound by number 21, Ellis Martino. Martino has made 3 previous relief appearances, as you can see with his stats now on your screen. He's pitched 3 2/3 innings over those past 3 appearances, has an ERA of 1.91, a whip of 1.36, and 4 strikeouts. So with this swap, Martino will likely take Klein's spot in the batting order. And like I said, in terms of qualifying for the pitching win, the general rule of thumb is that a starting pitcher has to pitch more than half the game. So for a 7-inning game, you have to pitch at least 4 innings as the starter to be eligible for the pitching win. Otherwise, even if your team took the lead in like the first inning, but you only pitched that 1 inning as a starter, you wouldn't get the win. It would go to a bullpen pitcher, most likely the one who pitched the most innings. But it would be a stat keeper's decision. Of course, if this game were to end in a mercy rule result after 5 innings, then you could still give the win to Klein as he pitched 3 2/3, but Brookline would have to take at least a 12-run lead within the next 2 innings. And currently they only lead by 7. We resume the action. Martino on the hill, Slocum at the plate, first and second, 2 out. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Slices that one foul, strike 2. Swing and a miss, 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Martino comes in and gets the 3rd out in short order. So Newton threatens late in the inning and chases Klein off the mound, but they cannot narrow the gap any. We move to the bottom of the 4th with the score, Brookline 9, Newton 2. Oh, and I can see over on the bench, Sawada is still hopping on 1 foot. Focusing on the game in front of us, we got a new Newton pitcher on the hill. This is number 7, Watnick. He will take over for Thomas. Thomas lasts 3 innings, gives up 9 runs. Not entirely sure how many earned. It's going to depend on some error calls by the official stat keepers on Game Changer. But either way, Thomas moves to first base. And I'm trying to see where they moved. Everyone else looks like they moved Say out to center. And they moved Say over to third and Aryan to short. So those are the defensive adjustments for Newton. Watnick on the mound for Thomas. Thomas moves to first. Say moves out to center field. Say moves to third base. And Ariane moves to short. And it'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for Brookline, Sheehan, Brendel, and Hoffman. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 4th, the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. First pitch skips in the dirt, ball 1. Sheehan so far today 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. As that one's going to miss for ball 2. Sheehan hits a hard grounder, fielded cleanly by Slocum. Throws to first for out number 1. So 1 down quick for Watnick. Now coming up the first baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. First pitch, high, ball 1. Brendel 0 for 0 so far today with a pair of walks. As he takes that one inside for ball 2. And high, ball 3. Brendel on the verge of walking for a 3rd time today with a 3-0 count. And that's what he's going to get. It's a 4-pitch walk for Brendel. And that's his 3rd free pass down to first. And with that, he's actually overtaken Noah Klein for the team lead in walks, as he now has 8 on the season. Now batting the extra hitter, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch, he hits a grounder over to short, fielded, flipped to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Hoffman reaches, but it will be the second out of the inning on the fielder's choice. Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Attempted pickoff. Hoffman gets back safe. I think I heard a strike call on that one, so I think it's an 0-1 count now to Fantuzzi. Hoffman takes off for second, and the pitch was juggled by Parker. It's going to be a high, ball 1 as Hoffman takes second there. Swing and a miss. It pops out of the catcher's glove, and Hoffman's going to take off for third and just barely avoid the tag. I think we can call that one advancing on a passed ball because Hoffman didn't take off until after the catcher dropped it. Runner at third now, but 2 down and 2 strikes against Fantuzzi. Swing and a miss. He goes down on strikes. And Watnick takes care of business in his first inning on the hill. Through 4, our score, Brookline 9, Newton 2. During this break between the 4th and 5th innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and through them our students. Once again, brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And you can find all that information in the description section down below. Slight defensive change for Brookline. They've got number 17, Adam Rosenblatt, in the game at first base. Takes over for Elias Brendel. They've got Ben Rosenblatt now out in right field as Hugh Bollinger switches over to left field. So both Rosenblatt brothers checking into the game now. As they replace Elias Brendel and Devin Chin. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up for Newton, Hassar, Arion, and A. Say. We start with the left fielder, number 25, Hassar. First pitch, he hits a slow roller, dying on the grass, charging in Cody, throw to first. Just barely got him. That was inches away from being an infield single as that ball just died on the grass completely. Cody had to charge in with all his might just to have a chance to make that play at first, but ultimately he does make it for out number 1. Now batting is the shortstop, number 1, Arion. And he gets beamed with the first pitch he sees. So 2 pitches, and we got a ground out and a hit by pitch. Already a wild start to this top of the 5th inning for Brookline pitcher Ellis Martino. Now batting for Newton, the center fielder, number 12, A. Say. First pitch skips in the dirt. Well covered by Doctoroff. Thought about a potential pickoff throw as Arion thought about going, but opts against it. It'll simply be ball 1. Now Arion goes. It's an inside ball. Throw down to second. Oh, they got him. Frame perfect throw from Ben Doctoroff. Arion got a great jump on that steal attempt. Oh, and I'm not going to have time to show the replay. As, oh my gosh, we got another hit. Say gets hit by the pitch. I'm so sorry I didn't cut back from the replay fast enough for that, folks. My laptop's not at eye level right now, so it's a bit of a trickier operation than I'm used to. Now batting for Newton, the pitcher, number 7, Watnick. That one skips in the dirt for ball 1. Oh my God, we've got a delay in the game because a guy was walking his dog out in right field and he's got to pick up after the dog. Well, that was something. Want to know the count to Watnick. That one comes in low, ball 2. And that's going to be a high ball 3. Martino having a little trouble finding the zone here against Watnick. This is a 3-0 count. He's already issued 2 free passes this inning off back-to-back hit-by pitches. And now it's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Watnick. Martino starting to struggle with his control as Doktorov comes out from behind the plate. Rosenblatt over from first to try and settle down their pitcher. He worked so efficiently to close out the 4th inning. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Got the 3rd out of that inning, but since getting the 1st out of this inning, it's been a struggle. 2 hit-by pitches and a walk. If not for a great throw from Doktorov, then it would be bases loaded with 1 out. Instead, 1st and 2nd with 1 out as up comes the catcher, number 13, Parker. And that first pitch hits the zone, strike 1. That one way high, ball 1. Some of these pitches just flying off Martino's hand wrong. That breaking ball works for a strike, pickoff attempt. Oh, Watnick gets just under the tag. Rosenblatt thought he had him. But Watnick just barely gets back. Oh, it's a 2-1 count. I thought for sure that pitch was in the zone, but it actually missed, so 2-1 the count. That one hangs on Martino badly, ball 3. And he golfs this one foul. That'll be strike 2. And we got a full count. Oh, that's right. There's 2 outs in the inning. So full count, 2 outs. Runner's going to go on the pitch. And this one's a bouncer into the gap. Rosenblatt couldn't secure it. Backing him up was Cody, but he's going to reach to load the bases. That one could conceivably be called a single, but it could also conceivably be ruled an E3. That's one of those ones I'm going to go back and check later, but the base will load for Newton with 2 down as up comes the 3rd baseman, number 9, Say. First pitch sliced foul, strike 1. And this one's a grounder over to short, fielded cleanly by Sheehan. Throw to first. Rosenblatt had to stretch a bit, but does make the grab at first. And Brookline gets out of the jam with no damage. We move to the bottom of the fifth with the same score, Brookline 9, Newton 2. And now that we're between innings, we can actually take a proper look at that great throw down to second by Doctoroff. Such a quick transfer from glove to throwing arm, and he placed it pretty much perfectly. Sheehan almost didn't have to move his glove to apply the tag because it came in, just drop in the bucket there. Due up in the bottom of the fifth for Brookline will be Doctoroff, Bollinger, and then presumably Martino batting in place of Klein. But we'll see. There's been a few substitutions here and there. Brookline scores 5 runs in this inning, the game will end as soon as that 5th run scores. But while it's not impossible, and Brookline has scored 5 runs in an inning once already today, it is still a tall order. Especially working with the second half of your batting order. And working against a pitcher who was quite effective out of the bullpen last inning in Watnick. All right, leading off for Brookline in the bottom of the 5th, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. That one's going to miss, ball 1. That one catches the high end of the zone, strike 1. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. Doctoroff 0 for 0 so far today with 2 walks, but now 2 strikes against him here. That one will miss high for ball 2. And that's a high ball 3. Doctoroff goes from down in the count 1-2 to now a full count at 3-2. And it's a high ball 4. And Doctoroff, like Brendel before him, draws his 3rd walk of the day. Doctoroff has doubled up his walk total, and I think Brookline's going to send out a courtesy runner for the catcher, so they can keep his legs focused on his catching duties during the top half of the inning. And it looks like they're going to have Brendel run in his place, since Brendel has probably already been subbed out for Adam Rosenblatt. Now batting for Brookline, the left fielder, number 55, Hugh Bollinger. Throw back to first, and Brendel dives back. Bollinger so far today, 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Brendel takes off. Bollinger lifts one out to right center. Right fielder's back and has it, and Brendel retreats back to first. So 1 out. And now I'm trying to see if I can spot who's coming to the plate. My guess is it's Martino, but I can't quite tell. Another throw back to first. Brendel gets back easy. That's going to be a high ball 1. Brendel takes off, and it's fouled off for strike 1, and again, Brendel has to go back. 1-1, the count to Ellis Martino. You can see his stats for the season on the bottom of your screen. 222, 333, 278 slash line, 2 steals, 7 runs scored, 2 RBI. As he takes a high ball 2 there. 2-1. Brendel takes off again. That time it's in there for a strike, and Brendel slides head first into second for a successful steal. So a runner in scoring position now for Brookline, but Martino now with his back against the wall at 2-2. But takes a high ball 3 there, and now we've got another full count. We've had a bunch of those for the Newton pitchers today. And that's a high ball 4, and Martino gets a free pass down to first. And now batting, the center fielder, number 88, Michael Doherty. Takes that one to the inside corner, strike 1. Doherty 1 for 1 today with an RBI single. Now up with runners at first and second. Brendel's taking off. It's a high ball. Brendel slides in safe at third. So 2 steals for the courtesy runner, Elias Brendel. Runners now at the corners for Brookline. Wouldn't be surprised if they sent Martino on the very next pitch. Doherty skies this one out to left center. Center fielder chasing, cannot get there. It's going to drop in. Another RBI single for Michael Doherty. That one might have hung in the air longer than Doherty might have liked, but drops in the middle of no man's land in left center field. And the center fielder couldn't lay out for it. So another run in. Brookline's got double digits on the board. Now batting is the second baseman, number 2, Ben Cody. That one hits the zone, strike 2. Runners at first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Brookline leads Newton 10-2. And Cody chases that one way high for strike 3. Watnick gets the second out. And now batting is, I believe, an extra hitter, number 12, James Skeffington. Swing and a miss for strike 1 there. Skeffington batting in place of the injured Sawada after taking over on the base paths for him last time. Watnick throws back to second. Martino gets back safe. Skeffington so far this summer, 2 for 6 with a triple, walk, hit by pitch steal, 3 runs scored and 2 RBI as he swings and misses at strike 2 there. That one's going to miss high and away, ball 1. That one curves in for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts from Watnick end the inning. Brookline adds 1 to their score. And at the end of 5, it is Brookline 10, Newton 2. So Brookline cannot trigger the mercy rule in 5 innings. They could still potentially trigger it in the 6th and end the game without a 7th inning, but at that point, you know, it's just 3 more outs you have to get. We've got another pitching change for Brookline. Taking over for Martino on the mound will be number 24, Sasho Esch. And Esch, his only other pitching appearance so far in this Lou Tompkins season was in that season opener against Newton. And you can see with his stats how rough of a time he had. As for the season, he's only got 1 inning pitched to his name, an ERA of 28, a whip of 7, and no strikeouts. So more than likely, those stats are going to be improving after today. And the key for him is simple: throw strikes. You know, we saw with Martino last inning how tough things can get when you lose control of your stuff. And with an 8-run cushion here, Esch doesn't have to pitch scared. He's just got to stay in control. He'll be facing Thomas, Chung, and Slocum. And what he doesn't want are pitches like that where it just flies off his hand. Leading off here in the top of the 6th for Newton, the first baseman, number 4, Thomas. That one in the zone, strike 1. And that one just misses, ball 1. That one drops low and in, ball 2. That one skips in the dirt. 3-1 now the count to Thomas. And that one's going to drop low for ball 4. Not the way he wanted to start this outing, a leadoff walk. Now batting for Newton, the right fielder, number 42, Chung. And Esch appears to be trying to adjust his grip on the baseball so his pitches can go more where he wants them to. Not that time, though. High ball 1. That one comes in around his head, ball 2. 2-0, the count to Chung. That one skips in the dirt, ball 3. And that one skips in, and it's back-to-back walks to start for Sasho Esch. And a timeout called as head coach John Busey and Doctoroff are going to come out and talk to Esch, as this is the exact same kind of problem he had against Newton last time when he pitched 1 inning, gave up 4 earned runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, and 1 hit by pitch. Now batting for Newton, second baseman, number 27, Slocum. That one completely slipped off his hand, high ball 1. This one's sliced foul, strike 1. This one sliced foul, strike 2. Esch ahead in the count now, 1-2. Much better looking the last 2 pitches. Was able to attack the low corner on that last one without skipping it in the dirt. That one hangs on him, ball 2. Doctoroff tried to go for a pickoff throw, but bobbled the ball. 2-2 now the count. Catches the low corner, strike 3. Big bounce back at bat for Sasho Esch. Now batting the left fielder, number 25, Hussar. First pitch going to miss. Ball gets away from Doctoroff. Throws down to second. They got the runner at second. Smartest catcher around, Ben Doctoroff. I've seen him pull that like 2 or 3 times in just this summer, where he sees a runner going for third, knows he can't get the runner at third, so he takes the runner at second, because the runner at second thinks that all the attention is focused on the guy heading to third, because in most scenarios you focus on the lead runner. But Doktorov has got that split-second awareness to know when to go after the trailing runner, because you can get the out. We've seen him do that a couple of times just today. Some good pitches from Esch. Have another pitcher's count, 1 and 2. That one is going to miss, ball 2. But you see all the difference that makes, because now it's 2 outs and 1 runner on the bases instead of 1 out and 2 runners on the bases. World of difference. This one hard hit. Bounces past a diving Sheehan. That'll be an RBI single for Hassar. Newton will get a run back. But Brookline still leads by 7. Now back to the top of the order. The shortstop, number 1, Arion. First pitch bounces in the dirt, ball 1. That one high and in, ball 2. That one skips in the dirt, ball 3. And you don't want him to slide back into the problems that he was having before. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Arion. Third walk of the inning for Esch. Now batting, the center fielder, number 12, A. Say. This one lifted out to right. Ben Rosenblatt under it, and it's a can of corn for the last out of the inning. So an inning of ups and downs for Sasho Esch, but ultimately limits the damage and gets out of the inning with just 1 run allowed. We move to the bottom of the 6th now. Brookline leads Newton 10-3. So we're going to have a couple of substitutes coming to the plate this inning. Or our way, it looks like they're still keeping Devin Chin in the batting order, even though they subbed him out of the field a couple innings back. So they must have reassigned him as an extra hitter. But certainly there will be a substitution at the cleanup position for Brendel, and I would expect it to be Adam Rosenblatt. We got our 3rd pitcher on the hill now. For Newton, it's number 25, Hassar, taking over. Watnick goes back to short. They put Arion out in center field and move A. Say over to left. Leading off for Brookline now, number 3, Devin Chin. That one doesn't break fast enough, comes in high for ball 1. That one misses as well, 2-0 the count. Chin hits a grounder right to the second baseman. Slocum throws to first, and that one was closer than you'd expect from a grounder to second, but ultimately they beat him by a fraction of a step for out number 1. Now batting the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. That one skips in the dirt for ball 1. That one skips in the dirt as well, ball 2. That one comes in way high, ball 3. Hitters count for Sheehan at 3-0. That's going to skip in the dirt, and it'll be a 4-pitch walk for Mayfield-Sheehan. Now batting for Brookline, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. Ooh, and Sheehan draws the balk by dancing off of first. That's what we in the tennis community call a forced error, as Sheehan has been doing those dancing tricks off of the bags all day and really all season, and you can see why he does it, because it throws off pitcher's rhythm like that. That one catches the low corner for strike 1. Rosenblatt so far this summer 0 for 7, 1 walk, 1 steal, 2 runs, 1 RBI. Hits a hard grounder, but right at first, Thomas tags the bag easily for out number 2. And now we've got the other Rosenblatt brother coming up, batting in place of Owen Hoffman. This is the right fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. First pitch, he slices it up in the air. Thomas going back, looking for it, and he's got it for out number 3. And boy, I don't mind telling you, when I saw Hussar coming out and really throwing mostly meatballs to start the inning, I thought Brookline might rack it up for a ton of runs or possibly get a bunch of free passes. But I think the Brookline hitters just really didn't know how to handle those slow rainbow arcing pitches that Hussar was throwing at them. And they weren't able to adjust in time and ended up with just 1 walk and no hits. You know, it just goes to show the key is throwing strikes. Even if your pitches aren't the most impressive, you throw strikes, inevitably you get outs. That's just how the percentages go in baseball. Sasho Esch back on the mound to try and close the door here in the 7th inning. He'll be facing the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Newton, Watnick, Parker, and Say. Leading off for Newton here on the top of the 7th, the shortstop, number 7, Watnick. First pitch, high, ball 1. That's going to be a high, ball 2. And it's a high, ball 3. And again, control evading Esch here. Early 3-0 count to Watnick. And that one misses low and inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to start. Now batting, the catcher, number 13, Parker. That one just catches the low corner, strike 1. That's a low, ball 1. We just briefly disconnected there, but I don't think we really missed anything. Might have missed one pitch. That was ball 1 to Parker. It's a 1-1 count now. This one's a chopper over to short. Glove flip to second and a high throw. No double play. They get the fielder's choice. Mayfield-Sheehan was doing a little bit of fancy work there, flipping it from his glove over to Bollinger at second, but Bollinger, I don't know if he was thrown off by the fancy move or just mangled the throw, but sailed it. And so Parker reaches on the fielder's choice. Now batting, the third baseman, number 9, Say. Brief timeout was called. And Newton is going to send out a courtesy runner in place of Parker, and it's going to be Watnick, who just got thrown out on the fielder's choice. That one briefly gets away, but the runner holds. Probably has some memories of the runner that tried to go for home. I mean, the rule of thumb to me is if you don't get a good break, like if you don't get a good jump out of the blocks, usually best not to go. Hard liner going to go out to left. And a single for Say puts runners at first and second here on the top of the 7th. Now batting, the first baseman, number 4, Thomas. First pitch hits a chopper over to third, and it's going to be taken by Cody at third. Apply the tag. They get the lead runner. for the second out. Decided not to try for the double play ball, just get the lead runner. Now Newton down to their last out as up comes the right fielder, number 42, Chung. Slices the first pitch he sees. And it gets caught up in the trees. And that'll be a simple foul ball for strike one. That one does catch the low corner, strike two. 0-2 the count. That one's going to be low for ball one. Newton down to their last strike here, down by 7. That one inside for ball two. Low ball 3, pickoff attempt, unsuccessful. And it's a full count now to Chung with 2 down, 2 runners on. Here on the top of the 7th with Brookline up 10-3. Both runners go, it's popped up, and it's tracked by Sheehan, and he's got it. And that is your ball game. The final score here at Warren Field, Brookline 10, Newton 3. Brookline jumps out to a 5-0 start in the first inning and pretty much never looks back the rest of the way. En route to another victory, this their 6th straight, if I'm not mistaken, as their one loss of the year to Woburn. I believe they were 3-0 at the time when they lost that one after their first forfeit win over Billerica. And now they improved to 9-1 on the year with today's win, while Newton falls to 3-9. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this broadcast, I know we had a couple of technical hiccups here and there, but if you enjoyed this regardless, then I encourage you to hit that like button, and I also encourage you to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Brookline is back in action on Thursday, as they'll be on the road taking on Medford at Playstead Park. Be sure to stay tuned for that game. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. Remember, if there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video, where you can find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. You can also find some links related to me in the description section, or in the bottom right corner of your screen, my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Also, if you want to skip past all that, you can also see my email on there if you just want to email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And then you can also find a link to my Instagram account. You can follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams and the links to upcoming live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Brookline 10, Newton 3 from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.